Hey everyone, welcome to SNL AFTERBUZZ TV. We're doing the after show for season 43, episode 12. We're talking about Sam Rockwell and Halsey, so stick around.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Tucci gang, Tucci gang, Tucci gang, Tucci gang, Tucci gang, Tucci gang, Tucci gang.
Oh!
That's that guy from the Hunger Games. Transformers
Love it.
last night.
This song I would actually play like in my
I
head.
play all of the SNL songs.
Everyone's like one after the other.
Like cardio jam. It is.
This actually would be a great cardio jam. I think Stanley Tucci would approve.
Yeah, Tucci. You got a little Tucci workout.
Yes.
Tucci Tooch. Well, welcome everyone. Welcome back. We are back with SNL after the winter hiatus there. Coming in strong with a lot of stuff in this episode, so I'm really excited to talk about this one with Sam Rockwell and musical guest Halsey. First of all, though, where can we find you ladies on social media?
What's up, everyone? Happy New Year. I'm Steph Sabraw. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Steph Sabraw.
Hey everyone, I'm so happy to be on the SNL
Yeah,
After
welcome.
Show. My name is Louiza Sharamatyan. You can find me on Instagram at Nobody Reads Anymore TV and on Twitter at Nobody Reads TV. You thought that was funny?
I love that name. I love it.
I heard that.
It's true.
And I have no manners, so I didn't welcome Louisa. Welcome,
I'm
Louisa.
filling in for Elizabeth. Thank you for the welcome.
Yeah, so we're missing Elizabeth and Kelly tonight, so we maybe wish them well. I don't know, but yeah, we have Louisa here tonight, so very excited for this panel. So first episode back. I had just been talking to my sister the other day, and I was just like, my God, they have a lot of stuff to pack in, even just from the past week. So a lot going on, but. First, let's dive right into to the cold open. So, cold open was the Morning Joe show, which they've done before with Kate and Alex, doing Mika and Joe. So, what did you guys think? Overall thoughts on the cold open?
I really liked it. I thought it was refreshing cold open, and Fred Armisen is one of my all-time favorites, so being blessed by his presence. And it's so spot on. I didn't know what the original writer had looked like, and I was shocked how
Michael Wolff?
he just transforms
Hilarious.
into his character.
It's pretty great. So we had Fred
Yeah,
Armisen
yeah.
as Michael Wolff coming in, and then we also had Bill
Freaking
Murray
good.
coming in for Steve Bannon.
I love that part too. So how he's like, oh, I'm gonna come back, but I'm gonna go work for Crackle now, and that was hilarious. But I love the joke about the book and how he said something like, it made you laugh, so stop complaining, even though it might be fiction.
Yes.
Because I read some reviews and how Trump is saying how the book is actually fiction. It's not true. Obviously, he would say that.
Yeah.
Overall, I thought it was funny. I love the vibes. Hilarious. Great way to open it.
Yeah, I think one of my standout lines was that they had babies racing in the Oval Office, and they had $1,000 down for it, and then the direct quote from Trump supposedly was $1,000 on the black one, and they just said, "Was that real?" He just goes, "Yeah."
Oh my God, but that's
Shrugs.
not though. That's like, do you think he just wrote that in there, or this is like true? Because that's bizarre.
Yeah,
and
so I think that's
illegal.
because a lot right now he's been getting a lot of flack back of like certain things maybe weren't true. They were like showing certain biases, but for the most part, you don't really have to stretch the truth too much to make that guy look like an idiot. They were trying to, I think, play on that. I think after all of this time not seeing a real Steve Bannon, always just seeing the Grim Reaper, love that they had Bill Murray come in. I wish that they wrote better stuff for him, though.
He was kind of distracted, right? He didn't look present in his scene. That's the vibe I got.
I think a little of that, but I also think that's kind of how Steve Bannon rolls.
Yeah?
He's kind of like sedated half the time. Has this like Jabba the Hutt all time.
I do like that he's coming out with a skincare line called Blotch.
His face was awful. Shout out to the makeup. I think that was so good.
Yeah, I think overall it kind of ran a little bit long for me, but I thought it was fun. I always love when they do the Morning Joe stuff because they are kind of very creepy together.
And with the Chris Red, it was like they were punching in that line of how we need to give like, people in that situation the moment to talk, but then kept over talking him.
It was genius. I loved it. Perfect.
Yeah, because they do tend to just kind of like take the boat and steer it away whenever they want to. Okay, cool. Let's jump into the monologue though. First of all, like overall thoughts. Like, are you guys Sam Rockwell fans? Did you know much about him or?
I did not. I saw him at the Golden Globes though, so I did some research after that to see who he is, his background. But it was hurtful for me. Not really hurtful, but to see that how he probably felt like he wasn't appreciated as someone who was just an actor, who's just a character actor. But now he feels like after 30 years in Hollywood, he's legit. So I want to see more of him. I thought he did great.
Yeah. I thought it was surprising. I've known him from like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and things like that, but I never like searched him or really cared that much, but I always respected him as an actor. But I was really, in a good way, surprised by how he set the tone for himself. And then I thought the song I was kind of worried about in the beginning, but he really kicked it in. And the whole part was Cecily being like, "You're a big shot now." I was like, this is hilarious. I love how I love self-deprecation, so
Perfect.
That was
Yeah. And this was, because I think it is great that because he really is that guy. Mm-hmm. He's always that guy. And there's so many character actors that are so brilliant in their own respect of that. But yeah, that you never know their name. You just know them as that guy. So I thought this was a really funny premise for them. I would have liked a little better execution from him. I'm going to be honest. Like, I don't know. I think that you either need to be like super silky smooth
to like go right in,
or you almost need to be playing it awkward, like you're trying to be the leading man and you can't be. And he was almost somewhere in between for me through a lot of it. But I love whenever they do behind the scenes stuff, whenever they go backstage and like you get to see the audience. And
oh yeah, the backstage was hilarious when Leslie Jones jumps in on him and says, "Well, I didn't go to the HR meeting. I can kiss you." I think that's so funny when they do that.
Yeah. So you know I didn't attend that meeting.
And then jumping on the camera broomstick thingy he was on. That's why I love SNL. They take risks. Like you can see them filming while we're there live. It's so cool.
Yeah, that's the part I respected. He was a surprisingly good dancer and he did like some kung fu type stuff that I was impressed with.
Yeah, he's got a good sock game going too.
Oh yeah.
Some sweet socks going.
Nice. And now I want to watch that 3 Billboards movie.
Yeah, actually, have either I haven't seen it.
No, I haven't either. So that's
I know
on
it
my
caused
list.
a lot of controversy.
Sorry, I'm having sorry.
Some mic issues
Mic issues.
/ beatboxing.
Yeah, Brie.
I saw it.
Oh, how was it?
I think it's really good. I think Frances McDormand is in it, and I know that his part caused controversy because he is racist and homophobic in the film. But I think it was important to show that because they are in a southern state and with what the film deals with. And I thought that, I think it's a really good film. I think everyone should go see it.
Yeah.
Nice, yeah, it is one that I want to see, and it's funny, actually, I have a friend who had brought that up, that she's just like, she's actually a very big Sam Rockwell fan, and she's like, this doesn't obviously change my opinion of him, but it was hard for her to get past a certain storyline with him, of like how quickly he was redeemed and things like that.
Yeah,
so
that's
like,
what I was reading.
Yeah, so I know she had some issues with that, so I was intrigued by that, but that's a good point that like, yeah, you need to have that represented in a film like this for where they are, but
definitely.
yeah, I do definitely want to check it out.
I'm gonna use my movie pass.
So moving into the first sketch, which controversy.
Sam Rockwell drops the F-bomb.
That was so boring.
Me like.
First sketch of the night.
The science teacher, why did they do that? I mean, I love SNL, but sometimes they just do these things. It wasn't enough weight for me. I feel like, okay, it was cool, 2 kids, and then talking about how, don't go under my shirt or don't touch me. I get it, but
That is a good first rule. I know that was my first rule in the household.
I know, but
And where to escape.
It lacked
First rule to have.
It lacked substance for me. That's my opinion.
I agree. It fell flat. I thought Cecily and Retainers was very prime. But past that, I was kind of waiting for the punchline. It was a good premise. I just didn't get there for me.
And then he said the F word, right?
Yeah, so he was supposed to say like, "You're so dumb," and he just went for it and said, "You're so effing dumb" instead.
They were.
And it was I really
Like a table.
Yeah, that was literally the premise of the sketch. So the premise is science teacher who has one of those cheesy like 80s or 90s science shows where he has 2 kids who are helpers, and normally they're like really smart and fun, and in this case they just were very, very dumb.
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Saw him the other day.
Oh my god, he's old, right?
He was at my, oh my god, he was so old, and now it was very disheartening for like me and like other fellow like
And then he has a show on
90s
Netflix,
kids
too.
who just like looked at him and we were like, he's so old.
Yeah.
But he's
Kill
awesome.
me.
So much love for you, Bill Nye. So much
We
love.
love you.
But yeah, so that was the premise basically, that it was like the science show and like they're not smart basically and they're not unhelpful. I thought a lot of their lines were really funny. I think it could have escalated better. And it needed an actual ending. It needed a button at the end. But other than that, I actually did like it. I think it fell flat because it didn't go anywhere. The lines that they were giving them were funny, but then it just never went anywhere from that. You can't just have them continuously be stupid. I think actually having them go into an experiment, moving over to another part of the stage and having them do an experiment and have something go wrong to bring in some physical comedy or something, I think would have been great.
Oh, yeah.
Because Cecily and Mikey were great.
Yeah.
But kind of wasted, I think.
I feel like Cecily she's always on, but for some reason I feel like she was even more on than usual this episode in her characters.
And I don't know why the line cracked me up when he was like, "You can't see it," and she's like, "Behind me."
And then it ended up being about gas, like farting, right? Or something.
Yeah, for gas, like that, and then Mikey's still at guessing table, and then she's just like, "Behind me." So, I think I think it fell flat because of that it just kind of stayed on that same plane. You can't just have them saying funny dumb things for an entire 6-minute sketch. But yeah, so I know that everyone was talking about the
I know, it's like, get over. You guys everyone is such a troll in reality. Like, no one cares that he did, but everyone knows that it's like the FCC rules or whatever.
Yeah.
Broadcasting it live, and it became this huge Twitter thing. Amy was like, I didn't even realize until I saw it on the internet.
I didn't even know there was a new episode last night.
I didn't know I didn't realize he dropped the F-bomb until I saw it on Twitter. I'm like,
yeah.
But then the
you
other guy, the
people.
co-host of Michael Che, Josh, I believe, he doesn't care either. He says stuff all the time. He just screws the censors.
Colin, Josh?
Yeah, him. What did I say? Did I say Josh?
Josh.
Yeah, they
Good old
usually,
Josh.
both
Yes,
of them.
Collins. They
Both
never
of them usually do.
Well, yeah, we'll get into that later. But
yeah.
I was interested because now that they're doing live coast to coast, normally they would pull the dress copy of this, whatever was in dress rehearsal, as long as it went okay. Because for the West Coast or for anyone other than East Coast, they would pull the dress rehearsal sketch to be able to air that one if there was like a major mess up or something like that. But now that they're airing live coast to coast, they can't do that. So I was interested though, because I always watch it on Hulu. I wasn't sure if they were actually going to pull something from Dress for that, but no, they just bleeped that. So I'd be interested to know what happened in Dress. Maybe you swore even more in that one. Who knows?
They take risks. I love it.
Right. But let's go into our theme song right now. Tucci Gang.
We are about it. At least I am.
I'm about it, and we spoke earlier how we think he's such an underrated actor. I mean, I loved him in The Devil Wears Prada. I mean, of course, he's known for other great films, but
Hunger Games.
In that movie, he was even underrated by the devil herself. So I feel like even the Hunger Games.
Meryl Streep.
Yeah, well, yeah. But
AKA
beside the queen.
The exact opposite of devil, because she is God.
Have you met her? No. Okay.
Oh, I have not.
just
You would know if I met.
I don't know.
I would literally glow like an angel.
You met Bill Nye.
Yeah, but Meryl Streep is like probably not fully human.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't believe she's real. But yeah, I think this was great. I think they could have done a little more with it though. It was kind of a bummer that they used a chorus to come in twice that wasn't really doing anything, because I think it was funny that they were literally just saying his credits in a way and like why you should like be paying more
like
attention to him, because I agree. But yeah, I wanted a little bit more from it because I think this is such a funny premise and a great time for them to do it with Sam Rockwell, because it's the same thing, like underrated character actors.
I agree.
So. And Pete's always great.
Of course, and Show Dogs is coming out. I think it's gonna have that actor inside too. Stanley, his for Oscar, I believe so. So it was probably some kind of like promotional thing for that too.
No, but it's really just true. The way Pete was saying it, I feel like, I don't know if he smokes anymore, but if he still does, I feel like he got high and was like, you know who's underrated? Stanley Tucci, man. I'm gonna write him a song. And that's why I loved it. I like felt like he really meant it.
Yeah, because it was like you're just like, man, he's done this, and he's done this, and he's even done this.
But that's that guy from the Hunger Games. I'm like, yes, he is.
Big love to Stanley Tucci, and even like smaller roles too. I loved him in Easy A as Emma Stone's dad.
Oh my gosh!
Like he just steals the show.
Such a good dad.
Wow.
Yeah. Good job, Stanley Tucci.
Yeah,
we love you.
Yeah.
We love you too, Pete. So then we went to E, so a fashion show
Love that.
with E. So also two big news with E on the Golden Globes. I thought that they were going to kind of go into this. Deborah Messing was being interviewed by
Juliana.
And
Dragged
she
her through the dirt.
and she basically was just like, yeah, it was a bummer to find out that the female the news anchors at E
Sandler.
are paid less than the men. And so that's kind of where I thought that this was going. Because immediately they're talking about fashion and the Globes, and I was like, oh, they're going there. But they didn't totally, but they did jump right into the pay gap and like, so I thought this was a lot of fun, but what did you guys think?
They started off like that because in the beginning they both announced their salaries. So one of them, the main guy who was on the table by Sam, played by Sam, I think he was maybe trying to portray Jason Kennedy. I'm not sure from E! News, but he said, "Oh, I make 100,000," and then the other one's like, "Oh, I make 40,000," and they just like coughed. So I think that's the 2 seconds that we got that we might think it resembled that whole situation at E! But overall, it was also about Me Too and then Time Is Up all together, all those three movements. So.
Yeah, I think this was a great premise because it did take like what we're all thinking right now, but it almost kind of flipped it around too, showing like when you can go too overboard, which was so fun about this. Like, it's a fashion show and they're literally scared to say anything about their looks. They're just like, she's a beautiful, brilliant human.
Or
like,
I respect her decision.
Yes.
I love that genius.
Yeah,
Steph,
there's
what'd you
like,
think?
it brings up a few interesting points. I feel like on the other side of it, it's interesting with these types of movements that other people are like really scared for the repercussion in terms of like the way they live life, essentially, like how they talk, how they go about things. They're like, do I have to be censored on everything? And it's kind of that, obviously, no, you just have to not be a dick, you know? I mean, that's basically politically correct. But it's funny to see people, it is going to affect workplace communication, and especially on types of shows like this where they do drag people all the time. It's like, are you going to change the way you talk, or is there like there should be a happy medium?
Yeah,
you can still talk crap.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this because they did take a look at the other side of like people being terrified to say anything at this point. And then the one who was there is like an activist who has a house for battered women. Is like, I think she looked beautiful, and they're like, oh, whoa,
judging her on the way she looks. I know. It's
I
true,
like the point of view that this took, and also Kate McKinnon as Frances McDormand.
She is so good.
I loved the name Angelo Dolphin Tuna.
Oh, yes. And shout out to that outfit that she had on.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Well played. I know Halsey was in here somewhere. I don't know where it is because I never know anything about it.
After my drunk boyfriend.
Okay, cool. We're going to talk about it now.
Okay.
I already said Halsey.
Oh,
I'd be excited.
It was nice.
I don't want to let them down.
I agree.
We loved her yellow outfit, and then I love how she's dating G-Eazy. I'm a sucker for that. Awesome performance. She's so sexy. I mean, you just want to look at her.
I thought her voice sounded amazing. And I was, like, caught off guard that she wasn't lip-syncing because I thought she was one of those artists that would, because her voice kind of sounds auto-tuned, but then you're like, no, I think she just has that's kind of just her thing.
That's what's crazy. I love her voice for that reason. Like, it doesn't actually even sound real sometimes, but it's so good and unique. I was just talking about this with someone the other day, and I love her voice. I love, like, her individuality with everything that she does. But, yeah, I saw her in an award show like a while ago with that song Closer that she did with the Chainsmokers. And man, I love the Chainsmokers, and that boy is very pretty, but man, homeboy cannot sing at all without auto-tune. And I remember hearing how brilliant her voice was, especially next to someone who can't sing.
Oh, wow.
And I was just like, damn, she has got some pipes on her.
Yeah.
So I really liked it.
Yeah, I was a skeptic at first because I was like, of course she's gonna, her huge moment on SNL. I mean, that's a big deal. Like, she's a young artist. She takes her boyfriend up on stage, and I was like, but then I will say my opinion turned around a little bit at least, because that song that they performed they were really good together.
Him and I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a cool like vibe to that song.
Yeah.
It sounds like there's a mystery about it.
Very raw, very sexy, and their outfits matching.
Yeah, they're trying to be Bonnie and Clyde.
Ooh, down for Halsey. So yeah, then My Drunk Boyfriend. I know you guys were
favorite,
talking about this
hands down.
before. Handing it over.
I'm gonna take piano lessons.
And that glass of water he'll forget. Ain't that the truth?
Loved it. And the frozen pizza and just everything. And her face, her just expression every time. And peeing in the laundromat.
I did good, right? Get out.
I think, yeah, this is a great example of something where the specifics just drive it home. Because, like you said, there were individual ones that, like, every woman can sit there and go, like, oh my God, yeah. Oh my God, yeah. Oh my God, yeah.
Yes.
to so many of those. The pizza was the one that killed me. The burnt pizza that's in bed with him.
Yeah, I feel like it was so real that I almost forgot to laugh because I'm like, yeah, that happens all the time.
Like, this is not funny, it's true.
And then when they did the reverse of the girl, that was hilarious with Heidi.
Yeah.
when
that
she's
was
like,
good.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
I love when she
Yeah.
does that in her voice.
Yeah, her voice. I was thinking about it after I saw her on that. She was absent in this episode almost, other than that,
That's
which
true.
she's been crushing it. I'm excited to see more from her. But yeah, she was very quiet in this one. But that was, yeah, her voice in that when she came in as my drunk girlfriend was great. All right, update.
Of course.
Hands
This is
down.
usually Amy and I's favorite part, hands down.
Perfection.
I feel like they went in even harder this
I
week
agree.
than usual, and they've been going pretty hard.
It felt like a rap battle of jokes.
Fair. Did either of you, what were some standouts for you?
When Michael said that I just kind of want a normal white man as a president. I'm over this celebrity high of everyone saying, oh, let me be president, you know? And for once, I want someone to come up to me and say, hey, did you hear what the president said? And I'll say, no, because I don't care. He's home sleeping. You know what I mean? That I'm on his boat, kind of. I want everything to kind of go, you know, middle ground,
Yeah.
normal.
I don't need a white dude,
Yeah.
personally.
Well, I
can
mean
pass
no
on that.
celebrity. Like, I agree with his no
I
celebrity.
agree. There
Yeah.
are a lot of great
Yeah.
options.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, just the idea that we're all just so exhausted
Yeah.
by it. But
Yeah.
yeah, to just be able to be like, yeah, politics are boring. Let's
Yeah.
go back to that.
On
Oh,
that
yeah,
note,
yeah,
I
go
have
ahead.
two favorite parts.
Yeah,
One
yeah.
with Michael Che. I just love how he consistently keeps it so real.
Oh.
Just doesn't care at all when he was like, I mean, I've called countries shitholes if they don't have a CVS. It's like, I bet so many viewers did that same kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And then I loved when Colin Jost was like, the amount of times Trump says collusion and he plays it back and he's like, this is like one of those like douchebag frat stars that say no homo, like
Yeah.
no collusion. I'm like, that's exactly how it
So
sounds.
true.
Genius.
Which actually, I was watching the news the other day. In one answer, Trump said no collusion 8 times.
My God.
For one answer. One answer.
Like, you're colluding.
So,
There's
so
some
glad they
collusion.
touched on that. I think one of my standouts was Che giving us a history lesson on why a lot of African nations in like these shithole countries
Yes.
are impoverished because of Western, societies taking different things from them, and then him comparing it to being like if you molested a kid and then when they grow up being like, boy, you're weird.
I agree. That was my next.
I
was
wrote
like-
that down. I was like, that's a bar.
Yeah.
I
They-
knew you'd like that.
That was, again, they went in on it. I mean, immediately with Jost just being like, well, NBC wants us to say S-hole, but if the president can say shithole,
Oh.
why can't we?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and basically relating it to little kids and saying, hey, the president said, shithole, I can say it too. So, right on.
Yeah. Good
Yeah.
luck, parents, right
Oh,
now.
yeah.
Good luck with that argument.
Yeah. It's like, what, you'd have to turn, it's like they're probably changing their parental control to just blocking the news instead of like the normal typical shows that you'd get blocked.
But then you leave the house and you have friends at school and you know what I mean? It's hard to like block it out, but yeah. Totally.
They're just like, go watch some R-rated movies. Don't turn on CNN. It's
Go watch porn.
We'll get you a Pornhub subscription. Just stay away from Fox.
So some of the guests on
Great
there. So let's
guests.
jump into Oprah and Stedman first. What did you guys think of this segment?
I love how Stedman was portrayed just like he is, just sitting there, not commenting. And then when they asked him a question, he goes like, "What? You're asking me a question?" I loved it all, and I love how they didn't give us the answer. We were like waiting for everyone wants Oprah to say yes, right? But she didn't even say that as her fake role. She just said, "I'll let you know."
Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely loved it. I feel like it it just proves again how versatile Chris Redd is. And I love the part when Oprah is like, I need to get white women back on track. I've been off the air for too long. I don't know what happened. I'm like, so true. That is like, I feel like what was running through her head during the Lifetime Achievement Award speech and now.
It's
so true. Because white women
is
who, that was like kind of what turned the vote for Trump.
Yeah.
Like essentially.
Yeah, Oprah, we need you back.
I mean, we need you in some capacity. You did kind of go MIA and leave us all without.
She was working on Weight Watchers, and she did comment how she hates bread, and she can never win with bread. I can't win with bread.
Bro, I love bread. Yeah.
Which, by the way, that Golden Globes, her Lifetime Achievement speech, oh my gosh, incredible. The fact that she was the first black female and only the second after Sidney Poitier for, like, that's ridiculous, but such a good speech. Oh my, I've watched it a few times now.
I rewatch
and at
it
the end every
morning.
time. I'm just like on my feet already, and I'm just like, what
like
happened?
Motivational
Me too. When she goes, your time is up, and everyone stands up. I'm like,
Oh, Oprah, we need you right now.
that's yes.
Yeah, I think Chris stole the show in that. I would absolutely love it if they could get a black woman who does impressions, because you can't just do an impression every time you say something like Oprah.
Yeah.
You need to actually do it other times.
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
So, but I thought Chris stole the show regardless as Stedman, which is great because Stedman should steal the show every once in a while. Good for you. And then we have 80 coming in and doing commentary. As just like a woman who needs to say I'm sorry a lot because I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
And just bringing to light what Mark Wahlberg did, donating that money to Michelle Williams' trust fund. Not trust fund, sorry. The fund that she has for, I think, battered, abused women.
So it went to the Time's Up organization for, like, the legal fund with that, and he donated in her name because, basically, Michelle Williams and Mark Wahlberg were doing a reshoot for the movie that they're doing right now. At first, it sounds like they were told that there wasn't going to be any pay for it. They get there, he is paid $1.5 million, and she is paid $1,000.
And mind you, this is because of a man's doing, Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, exactly. They had to do the reshoot because
where is your agent?
That's not an agent, though. I think they're represented by the same company too. So, and that's the things a lot of people are saying, like, she needs better representation. Better representation is the difference between 1.5 million and 1.3 million. This is 1.5 million and $1,000. I have friends who do commercial shoots who get paid $1,000.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Michelle Williams, another A-list actress. So yeah, so Mark Wahlberg did the right thing in the press after a week of outrage, which was 80's point in this, that he donated the money to the Time's Up Foundation in Michelle Williams' name. But I liked this from 80. I thought it was very honest and fun.
Yeah.
And
It's
had a
charming,
great
so
point.
you want to watch.
Yeah, I thought it was more that she was pushing the points over the humor, but there was still really funny parts when she was like, if you could just be a little more decent. He's like, Dece? You mean like decent? And she's like, yeah, but I'm just trying to sound chill so I don't sound like a shrew. It's like, the constant struggle of voicing your opinions as a woman.
Exactly.
You're like, I'm going into witch right now.
Yeah, I think it was great, that idea of just always being a little. I think it was Amy Schumer did a sketch on her show about that, where there was like a bunch of women on a panel, and they just, like, every time they tried to say something, they were like, oh no, I'm sorry.
You're right.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
And how many times do we do it throughout the day? Like, you know what I mean? So it's true, and she's just bringing it to light, and it's great. I loved it.
Yeah. Good on you, 80.
Yeah.
And then we had Kenan doing that guy's dad. I don't know. You guys can talk about it.
No, that's random.
Never not a cabbage.
The cabbage was cool, and the beats was cool, like real beats that you'll get your beats in 1 to 11 months. That was hilarious, but I didn't know much about that basketball.
Yeah, you have to know a lot about it. Unfortunately, I would say, it was really spot on. It's really funny, and I actually really do like Kenan's impersonation of him. I think he does a good job of it. So it was funny, but it is, again, such a niche audience, that joke, I feel like. Especially for SNL, but it's good to try to bring on, because I know, like, people who do watch basketball were talking about this. So it's good for them to bring in more people.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
I think it's the first time they did it, it was still very, like, a lot of people, like, I mean, I didn't know what it was. And the problem is that a lot of times when they have a joke that's, you know, something that's going on, if it's topical and a lot of people won't know about it, they find ways to make it funny to everyone, where there's those little golden nuggets that the people who know about it will really, really love it. The first time they did it, I don't think he did that, because I spent the whole time being like, what are all these inside jokes?
Yeah, you
This
guys
time
had
I
no
think
idea.
it was a little bit broader, so it made it like funny even if you didn't know what was going on. And I have seen the guy. It is actually a decent impression for what's his face. But yeah, I thought.
Oh, you don't like Kenan?
Oh no, he's a terrible, terrible person.
Oh my god,
But-
tell me, can I ask you why? I grew up with him on Nickelodeon.
Oh, I
Kenan
did too. You
Kel.
should have
Yeah,
stayed
yeah.
on Nickelodeon.
Oh my god, I love this. Can you share some insights?
This is when she gets fired up, and I absolutely love it.
So my thing with Kenan is he's always playing a character. He's never someone like Kate, someone like Kristen Wiig in the days of Kristen, even Cecily when she jumps into a character, Beck when he jumps into a character, Kyle, they're that character. I always see Kenan. It's always like you can see him being like, I'm doing a funny joke and I'm Kenan Thompson right now. I never see him disappear into anything, and that always really bothers me.
The woman's not completely wrong. But I think a lot of us have this nostalgia, and I have a nostalgia for him where I'm like, I like to see my childhood comedian hero, in some respects, have fun with his jokes.
Yeah.
I do too,
But
and that's why
I
makes
do
me
see
so
what you're
angry.
saying. Yeah, it's like,
be better.
yeah.
I mean, Good Burger is still one of my favorites.
Hey man, if he came out in a bathtub talking in French, I'd be thrilled. I would
Okay.
be so thrilled if he
I
was just talking to his
love
little rubber
that.
ducky.
But I
Yes.
respect your opinion. Of course.
All right, so cool. Let's go ahead and move on to the Peter Pan sketch.
Random for me. Like, why was that there? It was so Michael Jackson-ish, like, hitting on boys and all that stuff. Sorry.
Sorry.
It's a good concept.
Sorry.
I mean, it's only a good concept because it's true. Like, when you get older and you're like, damn, that movie was kind of like pedophile to the
Yes.
max, and you don't realize it when you're younger. So it has a good starting point. It just like didn't go anywhere for me.
Kind of like the science teacher thing.
Oh my god, I watched Babes in Toyland the other day with my friend. I was terrified. It was disgusting. It was disgusting.
When you look back
It's the
at it, you're
creepiest
like,
thing I've ever seen in my
Yeah.
life. But yeah. Oh, well, first of all, I just have to jump on this too. Kenan's attempt at a British accent. It's a crime against humanity. What the hell was that? Anyways.
I love you.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was I think this idea of like, these like Captain Hook trying to get little boys onto a ship. I thought it was a really funny premise that didn't go anywhere. I would have liked to see them interact with like other crew members on the ship, or like have like Captain Hook give them tasks to start doing things on the ship that were that would come off as inappropriate.
Yeah,
like bending
to build on
toward-
that
yeah,
joke.
yeah.
But instead they just kept talking about it, and I'm like, I want to see it. It would be
Yeah.
funny to see it right now. So I was
Yeah.
let down because I thought it was a really funny premise that just stopped.
I agree.
Yeah,
I
we
think
agree.
I thought it was gonna get better when Kyle Mooney was like, "Well, I'm 34, so I guess this is kind of weird," and then, but it just didn't.
Yeah, it never really, and I mean, it was, the thing that I liked is that they kept it short, so they could have actually done something with it really quickly, or like a lot of times those shorter ones are somewhere that goes like really weird really quickly, and I wish that they would have done that, but it just kind of, it was like, here's the joke, we're gonna let it linger for a couple minutes and then not really have
Yeah.
an ending to it. So do better.
Yeah.
Do better. So then we had the ATM digital short.
I love this.
So yeah, basically, a white man walks into a bank, sketchy neighborhood. Black guy follows him in. He's sketched out by him, and then they escalate it with a group of black guys following the other black guy in, and how we react as society to certain people following us anywhere late at night.
And then it was funny because the date ended up being a prostitute. So he was
That
like,
was the only funny part for me.
no, the funniest part, that was funny, but the funniest was when he was getting attacked by those other black gang members or whatever they were. He yells at the black, Kenan, he yells out and he says, "You should have attacked the white guy. I would have helped you." That was funny too.
Yeah.
I think, I get what they were doing. I get where they were going with it. I think it took too long to get where they were going. This could have been like a 45-second short.
Yeah, it seemed easy to me.
Yeah.
I think they could have ended it with the paradox of him being with a stripper or like a prostitute and not been the end of it.
Yeah. Yeah, because I like those kind of twist endings. I just think it took too long to get there. I appreciate what they're doing, though, because that is really funny. Like,
Yeah.
that the white guy's scared of the black guy, but then the black guy's angry about, you know, like him coming at him that way, and then more black guys come in and he's like, oh man, like he's scared of them. So it's like how we look at certain people, like everyone looking at people a different way. But so I think the commentary of it was really good. I just thought it was way too long for what it needed to be.
Yeah, because I agree with you about the commentary, because everyone's kind of a hypocrite, and especially like you see with that pairing with white people judging black people, but it's like you guys are doing illegal crap too that you're just deeming different, you know? Yeah. Obviously robbing is way worse, but not everyone's a thief.
And then of course at the end the white guy's a douche anyways, who has a porn. Who has porn, I'm going to the next one, a porn star, but who has a prostitute in the car. Yeah. So. But yeah, speaking of porn stars,
hands down. Probably my favorite next to the drunk boyfriend, the gay porn scene.
Yeah, so basically the porn star boyfriend sketch where seems like a conservative family. The son is bringing his boyfriend home for the first time. We find out he's a porn star. Immediately the game is established that the dad's like, I know you from somewhere. And then it goes from there. So what did you guys think?
I thought it was so funny because originally when the dad walked away, I was like, oh, it's going to be like, I thought my son was gay, but I didn't know he was gay and dating a black guy. So I thought it was going to go with a race thing. And then I thought that was such an awesome twist that it ended up being a gay porn thing and the dad just coming out basically right there. And he's a pastor. And Marco Pumpgood is his porn name.
And then the wife asks him what that means, and then like he gets annoyed by that question, and she goes like, well, I just got a divorce, I just want to make it funny. But I thought it was funny how he excused himself. He wore his jacket. He's like, okay, you're gonna divorce me, I'm leaving, bye. I think that was funny too.
80's so good at playing like the sad, like dicked over wife.
Yeah, and her hair and her wig, everything.
I just want to hug her after every sketch.
It was perfect.
Yeah, I think I loved that it did go on such a quick downward spiral. I thought they were going to play that game a little bit longer of like him trying to figure it out. My only thing that I would have liked to see is, because I loved when they had Chris start to open the wine bottle and make it like super sexual. Yeah. I almost would have liked one more escalated thing there, one more beat of him doing something like that was just like overly sexual. And then to have that breakdown from the husband. But I do love that it was just such a quick downward spiral if he puts on his coat. Well, getting a divorce, I guess. And then walks out.
Yeah, they could have gone weirder with it. I agree.
Yeah. I feel like that's always my note. Get weirder.
We want it to be really creepy.
And Sam is so good in those weird roles.
Yeah, because he plays them in like a very straight way.
Yeah. His facial expressions.
Yeah, like even the way that he was sitting on the chair and he's just like, when he's talking about his shirt, he's like, I would have worn a different shirt.
Yeah.
Everything about him was
Takes
just
his
very
laptop.
weird.
All the porn is in there.
Comes back in for his laptop. That was such a great like little detail.
Don't open that.
And then so we had the lab with
human dog with a body or whatever.
So I guess the premise was that's a dog.
Trying new things in the science world. I have no idea.
The thing that made me smile was Mikey Day laughing. That was the only funny part of it to me. I was like, the fact that he thinks it's funny, I'm like, it's kind of funny, but not. And then I thought about it, I'm like, it's not funny.
Yeah, I feel bad for the little pup, but then he at least got to eat a sandwich.
Food,
at the
end.
I
felt bad for the dog too. Like, is that okay what they're doing? The way they're just trying to feed him the sandwich and moving the head. I mean,
at least he got a sandwich.
You guys, people, usually with animals, I'm all about that, but people are so ruthless with their animals, like, for props at home. Like, they think it's funny, and it is funny. I mean, I'm sure the dogs actually don't really care with stuff like that, but it's like everyone does that crap at home.
Yeah. And I mean, he looked very excited when he got the sandwich, but he's
probably one of their dogs.
But what was the point of
here's what I almost thought it was I thought it was gonna take a real right turn, and then it didn't, because when they were talking about when they were like, is this even legal? Like, who's your legal counsel? I thought that they were gonna do a play on Trump's legal counsel. And have them come in and like make it a commentary on that, because like of course they would find a way to make this legal, but that like I thought it was gonna go somewhere like that and actually have like an actual like topic to it, but then he was just like, I'm the legal counsel, and I'm just like, oh, so there is no point to this then.
Like whatever I want will get a pass, okay.
Yeah, I completely missed what this would be about other than watching a dog eat a sandwich, which was nice. But
And then
that's it.
waiting for his female companion, because then the dog wanted a,
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
a woman next to him.
good job, dog. We liked you in it. And that was about it. Yeah, really no point otherwise. Cool, good job. So then we had the Shantix commercial for How to Quit Smoking with Cecily as the not actor, not paid spokesperson actor, but like she's done some theater before, so like.
It was great for her. I saw her very, you know, coming out in different kind of shades as an actor, very versatile, like the yelling, the crying, and just to remind you, all of you, I think whoever, like, every girl or man in the world, whoever they do the infomercials, they are actors. Like, they are not people who are just working at 7-Eleven or whatever. That sounds really bad. But you know what I mean? Like, they are people who go and pay classes to be on QVC, and you know what I mean? So they are actors, right?
Yeah, totally.
I work at 7-Eleven.
Well, you know, I used to work at Starbucks. So I love 7-Eleven. But, like, as in, you don't just cast someone on an infomercial that has no background. Like, you believe these people trying to sell those acne creams.
Yeah, I thought it was a fun play on that, like, obviously it is an actor, but I just thought that this was a great showcase for Cecily at the end of the day.
Exactly, like theater.
Just getting to see her escalate, like, in the frustration of, like, when she tries to start to, like, break down, they're like, we're not buying it. And she's like, fine, and, like, it's a boom box. Like, I enjoyed watching her in it. I don't think the writing for it was necessarily the best. Like, the jokes within it weren't great, but I'm a big Cecily fan anyway, so getting to see her, like, almost like a good character showcase for her of this, like, downtrodden actor who's just, like, trying to talk about her acting in the Shantix commercial.
She's also on Great News. Do you watch Great News? With
yeah.
Hilarious. One of my favorite shows, again, on NBC, Great News, Season 2. Amazing. So I saw her recently on that, too. So I'm like, where do I know her from? I'm like, okay.
She's incredible. But, Steph, what did you think about this one?
I agree with you on that. I thought it was a great showcase for Cecily. I think that she's one of the best on this cast at making the lines that aren't that great still seem okay, because she delivers it so well, but it wasn't. I love the infomercials. That's what I do like about this episode in general. I feel like it brought a lot of, like, the throwback SNL type skits back with the infomercials and the boyfriend one, and that kind of seemed like the old type thing, so I like that. But on this one in particular, it wasn't hitting the lines as strong as it could be, but it was still good.
Yeah, showing her strength as a actress.
Yeah.
That's what I got out of it.
Because, like, she did win awards at her local community theater.
Oh, there you go, yeah.
Anything Cecily does, I just love. But, so if you guys could pick an MVP for the episode, who's your MVP?
I think Chris Redd, for sure.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
Probably Chris Redd, and then, like, the Weekend Update duo as usual for me. They've just gotten better every time.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think I'm going with the Weekend Update duo just because this week especially, I don't know, like, they just really went for it, and I
felt like
loved
they
every
chose
single
the right
joke. Yeah, every single
at all,
joke
yes.
killed it. But yeah, I think Sam Rockwell did great. He settled into it. Like I said, I wasn't a huge fan of his performance in the monologue itself, but I think he really settled in. Was great. So, fun episode. Cool. Well, next week we have Jessica Chastain and who's the musical guest?
I do not know who the music.
It's right here. Let's see. Hold on.
I was really focused
think
on
it's-
Jessica Chastain because I'm sorry if you guys have not seen Miss Sloane, that's like one of my favorite
Hold up.
movies with her in it, and then now she has Molly's Game out.
Yes.
Which is supposed to be amazing too, so I can't wait to see that.
No mention of the artist.
yeah.
just
See, that's what
Jessica-
happens
Yeah,
when
that's what I'm
Jessica
saying.
Chastain
I'm
is
sure,
going to
yeah.
be there.
Yeah.
We'll figure out
Well,
who it is next week.
It's
She's a
fine.
musical
I'm grateful
performer.
with just her. I don't really need to know the musical yet.
Once you hear Jessica Chastain, it just all becomes blur.
What?
After that?
Miss Sloane.
All right. Well, looking forward to that. In the meantime, where can everyone find you on social media?
Thanks for watching us tonight, guys. You can find me at Steph Sabraw on Twitter and Instagram. I'll see you next week.
I had a blast. Thank you for having me. I'll be here next week too. My name is Louiza Sharamatyan. You can find me on Instagram at Nobody Reads Anymore TV and on Twitter at Nobody Reads TV.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us. I'm Amy Maestri. You can find me at Amy Maestri. See you guys next week.
I like taking up.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.